They decided to take a tour of the surrounding countryside. The great, sheep-cropped chalky plains soared under cloudless, firm-breasted skies. There was an ancient burial mound and a pile of gap-toothed standing stones.
I wonder what Stone Age man did for toilet paper, Carter.
I don't know.
I bet the poor bastards had to make do with strips torn off Dalton's Weekly.
Helicopters roared overhead. They saw a coal-black Westland Lysander raking the flanks of a beechwood. They came across a column of marching infantrymen with red faces and tired bootlaces. A jet plane screamed low over a scrawny field, spewing flares and acrid smoke bombs. Tanks churned the tarmac, frightening hedgehogs and scattering butterflies with their screech-throated exhausts.
Do you know what we'll see next, Carter?
No. What?
A thatched Bren gun carrier.
They stopped the car on an eminence overlooking a winding, misty valley, with steeples of elms and flying buttresses of wind-bent oak. They climbed stiffly out of the blood-red Beetle. There was a black sign with a white skull and crossbones in its centre. There was a red sign alongside it, on which was written, "Keep out. Strictly no admittance. Ministry of Defence."
I wonder what they're defending.
Their gratuities, Pilot.
They heard the distant thump of heavy artillery. A small army spotter plane banked steeply above them and circled beadily, panicking a covey of red-legged partridges.
God moves in a mysterious way, eh, Carter?
And in convoy, too.
He pointed to an approaching Land Rover with a red flag hanging out of its side window. It passed by them. It was followed by a line of lorries stacked with soldiers in shrub-garlanded tin helmets. It stopped. A military policeman got out. He walked slowly towards them. He stopped in front of them and said,
"Enjoying yourselves, are you?"
What's he got to do with you, Perry Mason?
The military policeman carefully studied the registration number on the blood-red Beetle, front and back, clicking his tongue and nodding to himself slowly. He stood in front of Uncle Mort and looked him up and down slowly.
"So what are you doing here, then?"
Just seeing the sights, Squire. We've seen the jet planes. We've seen the tanks and heard the guns. Now we're hoping you'll put on a display of germ warfare for us.
"I see. We've got a right one here, haven't we?"
At this, Uncle Mort began to wave his cap in the air. He jumped up and down and shouted,
Oh, Luke Carter! They're dive-bombing the buttercups. They're dropping napalm on the water lilies. And ye gods, they're making a full-scale bayonet charge on the haystacks, my heroes! My bloody heroes!
The military policeman tugged at his lanyard and straightened the peak of his red-shrouded cap. He had olive skin and a sly whisk of moustache.
"Just let you out of the nut house, have they?"
That's right, Squire, they have. They thought I was Sir Douglas Haig, you see. But when they discovered I was in fact Billy J. Kramer and the Dakotas, they booted me out.
The military policeman bit his lower lip, narrowed his bloodshot eyes and said softly,
"On your way, pal. On your way."
Did you know I was once a gas mask?
"What?"
And there was a sandbag too. And a bedbug. And a bad attack of trench sores. In me prime I was a wounded horse and a pair of wire cutters. I was cold bully beef stew and the entrails of my best mate scattered at the bottom of a shell hole in the Somme.
The military policeman licked his lips rapidly and glanced nervously from right to left.
You bloody great bonsarse. You don't know bugger all about nowt, you don't. If you want to know what soldiering's all about, lad, come north and we'll train you proper. We'll give you something really useful to do. Never mind your tanks and your automatic rifles, never mind your guided missiles and your tactical nuclear shells. What you need is a mop and a bucket of hot water to swill down the backyards and ginnels of we're past. What you need is a good dose of elbow grease to blacklead the tram lines and scour the innards of long-forgotten horse troughs. What you need is guts and gumption to face up to hand-to-hand street corner fighting with fitted wardrobes, automatic dishwashers and imitation gold credit cards. But no, lad. You've not got the constitution for that, you and your lot. It's amateurs like me what win the crucial wars. It's us what hold firm against the hordes of damp fingers and long vowels. It's us what'll make the last stand ultimate against infected Belgian pâté and the final demise of Wilfred Pickles. We're the heroes, mate. Us and we're rampant mufflers.
The military policeman twitched his jaw. He scrunched his left toe cap on the tank-churned tarmac. He coughed and said,
"If I catch you still here on my way back, pal, there'll be bloody trouble. Do you follow my meaning?
Hey up, Squire, you're not threatening a bag of haddock and chips, are you?
Get lost. Get stuffed.
The military policeman yomped back to his Land Rover. He barked an order. The vehicle drove off with a screech of tyres. There was silence. The larks began to sing. A deer barked in the valley bottom. Swallows twittered on telephone wires. Cattle lowed, and a shire horse whinnied.
Now that's what I call a true religious conversion, Carter.
They drove back to the city.
Where do you fancy stopping tonight?
Well, what about seeing if the Brothers Rotten can fix us up again?
Why not?
They knocked at the front door of the house of the two spinster ladies, who greeted them with delight. Of course they could stay the night. Would they like to take afternoon tea with them?
Will it be edible?
Well, it was yesterday.
Well, that's good enough for me, missus. I've always liked yesterday, me. Particularly on the day I was born.
They ate bone marrow soup, tuna fish sandwiches in brown bread, maids of honour, cream horns, bitter chocolate eclairs, and drank weak tea in thin china cups.
Did you have a nice day, you two?
Champion. We communed with God.
Oh, what was he like?
He had olive skin, a thin moustache, and a gilbert hanging down from his left nostril.
Good gracious me. That's just how I've always imagined him.
Uncle Mort smiled. He dunked the last of the maids of honour in the slops bowl. He sucked at it reflectively. And presently he said,
And if God had his way, missus, my cousin from Bacup with the big ears and the receding kneecaps would look just like you.
Oh, you're very kind. Thank you.
Well, don't thank me, thank him. That's what he's there for. Provided, of course, he's not hiding from women vicars what look like your brother.
That was The Brothers Rotten. Stephen Thorne played Uncle Mort, Sam Kelly was Carter Brandon, Liz Golding and Jane Whittenshaw were the spinsters, and Brian Miller was the military policeman. The narrator was Christian Rodska. Uncle Mort's South Country was written by Peter Tinniswood and produced by Pete Atkin.